June 5, 1944. The night before D-Day. Deep beneath London, inside a dimly lit war room, 3 generals gathered around Winston Churchill. Maps covered the walls. Cigarette smoke hung heavy in the air. Outside, rain lashed against the streets as if the world itself was holding its breath. Tomorrow would decide the fate of Europe, and no one in that room truly knew if they'd still be alive to see the next sunset. Churchill's voice cut through the tension. He asked one question, quiet, almost gentle. "Tell me, gentlemen, what do you truly believe will happen tomorrow?" 3 men. 3 visions of the same battle. And only one of them would be right. The first to speak was General Alan Brooke, Churchill's chief of staff, the man who'd seen too many wars to still believe in luck. He rose slowly, his face pale under the dim light. "Prime Minister," he began, "it will be a disaster. Our men will die before reaching the sand. The weather is against us, the sea too rough. We'll lose 10,000 in the first wave, maybe more." Silence followed. Even Churchill's cigar froze midair. Every man in that room knew he might be right. Then stood General Bernard Montgomery, the warrior of El Alamein. He smiled faintly, the kind of confidence that borders on defiance. "We will win, Prime Minister. By tomorrow midnight, those beaches will be ours." He paused. "But we'll pay dearly for it. 10,000 dead on the first day, 30,000 by the week's end, yet it will be victory, paid in blood." Churchill leaned forward. "Is that price acceptable?" he asked. Montgomery didn't blink. "It's the only path to victory, sir." But one man hadn't spoken. At the far end of the table sat General Dwight D. Eisenhower, Supreme Commander of all Allied forces. He stared at the maps in silence. Minutes passed. Churchill finally asked, "General Eisenhower, your thoughts?" Eisenhower lifted his eyes, calm but exhausted. And when he finally spoke, every man leaned in. "Both of you are wrong." The room erupted. "Wrong? Both wrong?" Eisenhower raised his hand. "This invasion won't be decided by the beaches, or the weather, or even the number of men we lose." He stepped closer to the map. "It will be decided by one man, Adolf Hitler." Eisenhower explained what almost no one in that room knew. Hitler had armored divisions waiting inland. If he sent them to Normandy within 12 hours, the entire invasion would collapse. But Eisenhower smiled. "Hitler won't send them," he said quietly. Churchill frowned. "And how can you possibly know that?" Eisenhower's voice was steady. "Because we've been lying to him for 6 months." The lie was called Operation Fortitude, the greatest deception in military history. They had built a fake army in southern England, complete with wooden tanks, rubber aircraft, and phantom divisions. Fake radio transmissions filled the air. And German spies? Every single one of them had been turned, feeding Hitler exactly what the Allies wanted him to believe. Hitler was convinced the invasion would come at Calais, not Normandy. He thought Normandy was a diversion, and that would be his undoing. Churchill realized the magnitude of the gamble. Their success depended not on strength, but on Hitler's arrogance. "So, our victory depends on his pride?" Churchill asked. Eisenhower nodded. "Yes, sir, we're betting the fate of Europe on his ego." Dawn broke on June 6, 1944. The invasion began. The seas were violent. Machine guns tore through the first waves. Thousands died before even reaching the sand. But Hitler slept through it. When his generals tried to wake him, they were told, "Do not disturb the Führer." By the time he finally gave the order to move the tanks, it was too late. The beaches were held. The Allies had landed. Eisenhower's prediction had come true. The invasion wasn't won by strength alone, but by deception, by understanding the enemy's mind, by turning pride into weakness. That night in Churchill's war room, three men saw the same future through fear, through courage, and through truth. D-Day was not just a battle. It was a masterpiece of strategy, sacrifice, and illusion. The greatest invasion in history began not with gunfire, but with a lie so perfect that even Hitler believed it. And that's how the Allies won the longest day. Not through force, but through understanding how to make your enemy see what you want them to see,